What if I told you that Jungkook's career and money path were written in the stars? In today's video, we'll take a deep dive into his birth chart to see how cosmic patterns shape his success, his work ethic, and even the way he earns and spends money. If you've ever wondered what truly drives JK or what the future might hold for him, you won't want to miss this. Let's explore the astrology behind his rise to the top. Hello stars, welcome back to my channel where I analyze the birth charts of your favorite celebrities. If you're new here, my name is Beatrice, I'm a professional astrologer, and today I'm talking about BTS member Jungkook, focusing on his career and finances. I already published 2 other videos where I talked about his personality, so feel free to watch them if you haven't done that yet. You'll find the links in the description of this video. And I also want to mention that my next videos will be about JK's spouse and relationships, and of course about all the other BTS members. Subscribe to my channel and turn the notifications on if you don't want to miss these videos. Now let's take a fresh look at Jungkook's birth chart, focusing on his career and finances. First of all, his ascendant is in Capricorn, which shows he was born to succeed, but through hard work and patience. The interesting part about his rising sun being in Capricorn is that people with this placement usually have success later in life. Jungkook and BTS are already international superstars, so it's hard to imagine what more they can achieve. But believe me, our beloved Golden Maknae will have even more success as he gets older. Through his music, he will conquer the world. Before solo stars rejoice, let me tell you that I don't mean specifically his solo work, but also his activity as a member of BTS. And talking about BTS, in my opinion, they will experience a huge surge in popularity in 2028-2029. With the horoscope that I use as BTS's birth chart, they will travel a lot between September 2027 and October 2028. They might have concerts before that, but if you miss them, don't worry. In my opinion, they will have a big world tour sometime in 2027-28. Then between October 2028 and November 2029, their popularity is going to skyrocket. They had a similar time in 2016 and 2017 when they released their album Wings, won their first Daesang, their first grand prize in a Korean award show, and also their first Billboard award. That's when BTS expanded their international fan base and popularity. Well, expect that type of growth to happen again in 2028-29. But back to Jungkook. He has the asteroid Nike right on his ascendant. In mythology, Nike is the goddess of victory, and in astrology she shows where someone has the spirit of a winner. For Jungkook, this means he doesn't just want to win, he has to. He's competitive, determined, and refuses to accept failure. When he sets a goal, he'll work non-stop to reach it. His chart also shows a bucket pattern with Saturn as the handle. I've talked in detail about it in my first video about JK, so I won't repeat everything here. Just to summarize, Jungkook's whole path in life is about mastering challenges, slowly building something meaningful, and earning respect through effort. No matter how far he gets, he'll always feel like there's more to do. This is a huge reason he pushes himself so hard, especially in his career. There's another layer, an aspect pattern called a cradle, that links emotional strength with success. For a detailed analysis, also please watch my first video about Jungkook. What makes this cradle so special is that it touches both his ascendant, how he shows himself to the world, and his midheaven, which is all about career and reputation. This gives him not just talent, but also emotional resilience and quiet power. When things get tough, he knows how to turn pain into art. And let's not forget finances. Jungkook has the asteroid of luck, Fortuna, in the 2nd house, which represents money, material and moral values, and self-worth. This tells us that he is lucky when it comes to earning, especially through doing what he values. But because his chart also has signs of perfectionism and deep inner pressure, he may never feel like it's enough. Still, he's someone who attracts wealth by staying true to what matters to him: music, performance, and personal growth. Put it all together and what do we see? Jungkook is driven by something much deeper than fame or fortune. He wants to build something lasting, something real. His success isn't just luck, it's written in the stars and earned every step of the way. Let's now take a look at something very special in Jungkook's birth chart, a small talent triangle made of three powerful points that all sit at the 29th degree, an important and intense spot in astrology. It's like the universe gave him a sharp focus in three key areas: his career, his inner gifts, and his relationship with money. First, we have Chiron at 29 degrees in Libra in his 10th house. Chiron is known as the wounded healer. It shows a part of us that's been hurt, but also holds the power to heal and grow. In the 10th house, which rules career, reputation, and public life, this suggests that Jungkook might have faced deep doubts or emotional pressure about being good enough in his work. Maybe he was afraid of being judged or struggled with perfectionism. But here's the amazing part. When Chiron is activated in a healthy way, it turns that wound into strength. It gives him the ability to connect deeply with others through his career, not just as a performer, but as someone who touches hearts and inspires healing through his art. Then we look at the part of fortune at 29 degrees in Sagittarius in the 12th house. The part of fortune isn't a planet, it's a point that shows where someone finds happiness, flow, and success. Sagittarius is a sign of adventure, belief, and wisdom. And the 12th house is like a backstage area. It rules dreams, the subconscious, and hidden talents. This means Jungkook's luck often comes from deep within, from his imagination, his spiritual side, or even his alone time. When he follows his inner compass, he can tap into something magical that leads to unexpected success. It also means that even though he's famous and seen by millions, his true strength often comes from moments of quiet or introspection. And finally, there's the asteroid Fortuna, named after the Roman goddess of luck, at 29 degrees in Aquarius in the second house of money and personal values. This asteroid shows where we are blessed with natural gifts or lucky turns. In Aquarius, the sign of originality and the future, it tells us that Jungkook makes money when he stays true to his unique self. He doesn't have to follow anyone's path, he creates his own. The second house also rules self-worth, so this placement shows he finds power and purpose when he knows his value and uses his talents in his own innovative way. Together, these 3 points form a talent triangle, and because they are all at the critical 29th degree, they carry a sense of urgency, mastery, and brilliance. It's like he was born with a cosmic mission: to heal others through his work, to stay connected to his inner world, and to share his unique gifts in a way that brings both success and meaning. In simple words, Jungkook's birth chart shows someone who might have started out quietly doubting himself, but who has deep natural gifts that can lead to lasting success. When he follows his heart, stays true to his vision, and keeps growing, the stars keep rewarding him, not just with fame, but with real emotional and financial richness. When it comes to career and money, Jungkook's birth chart is full of power, depth, and a little bit of magic. Many of the most important planets and asteroids are pointing straight toward fame, wealth, and a purpose that goes way beyond just making money. Let's take a closer look at the second house of money, values, and how we feel about what we have. It starts in Aquarius, a sign known for being unique, creative, and future-minded. This tells us that Jungkook will earn money in ways that are unusual or ahead of their time, like through art, innovation, or connecting with others emotionally and spiritually. Right at the beginning of his second house is Jupiter, the planet of expansion and good luck. Jupiter brings abundance wherever it goes, and here it says that Jungkook has the potential to make a lot of money. But Jupiter also likes to go over the top, so he may sometimes overspend or give too much away. Next to Jupiter, we find asteroid Fortuna, the symbol of luck and destiny, also placed in this house. Even better, he has a rare aspect pattern called a kite, where Fortuna in the second house is linked to the moon in the 8th house, which rules shared money and investments, Vesta in the 4th house, representing home, family, and roots, and the part of fortune in the 12th house, spiritual gifts and hidden talents. With the moon at the top of the sky, we see that Jungkook's emotions and intuition are deeply tied to his financial success. He's not just working for money, he's working to heal, to express himself, and to connect on a deep emotional level. But it's not all smooth sailing. Jungkook also has a grand cross, a rare and very intense formation where 4 points in the chart pull in different directions. The points involved are Jupiter in the second house, representing his money, the asteroids Amor and Cupid in the fourth house of his family and emotional safety, the vertex in the eighth house, representing sudden fated events and deep change, and the asteroid Karma in the tenth house of his career and public image. This means that his path toward financial security and fame comes with challenges. The first big challenge was the fact that he had to leave home at a very young age in order to become a trainee and later a K-pop idol. Now when he is older, he might sometimes feel torn between wanting to take care of his family, needing to protect his private life, and wanting to give everything to his fans. He may feel like he carries the weight of many expectations, but because of this pressure, he also grows faster and works harder. The asteroid Ceres is in his second house too, in Pisces and retrograde. Ceres is the goddess of nourishment and care, but also of abundance or wealth. So first of all, this is a good asteroid to have in the second house because similar to Jupiter and Fortuna, it indicates that one might become rich. Its position in Pisces, a sign of deep emotion and creativity, makes Jungkook treat his career like something sacred. He needs to feel inspired to keep working. But with Ceres retrograde, he may sometimes feel like he isn't being fed enough emotionally, artistically, and even physically. This could be why fans often see him looking for comfort in food or working out to feel better. It's his way of grounding himself when life gets too heavy. If you want to know more about his huge hunger, please watch my second video about his personality because I talked more about it in that video. Let's move to his eighth house where we find the sun and moon, the most personal and powerful points in the whole chart. The eighth house rules over money we get from others, shared resources, but also over deep change and transformation. Having both the sun, his core self, and the moon, his emotions, in the eighth house means that money and power aren't just tools, they are part of his soul journey. Jungkook is here to evolve, to grow, and to share what he has with others. This placement also gives him a kind of phoenix energy. Even if he gets burnt out or lost, he always comes back stronger. The sun and moon in Virgo also say that he is a hard worker, always improving, always paying attention to the details. The sun is also conjunct Mercury, the planet of communication, which shows his talent for expressing emotions through music and movement. This trio in the eighth house shows someone who can reach people deeply, even without saying too much. Mars, the planet of drive and ambition, is in his 10th house, the area of career and reputation. And not just anywhere, in the 10th, but in Scorpio, one of the most powerful zodiac signs. This gives Jungkook unstoppable willpower and focus. Mars in Scorpio doesn't give up. It digs deep, works through pain, and transforms everything it touches. Fans can probably see this energy when he performs. That sharp, intense presence comes from this Mars. It's also why he might push himself even when injured or tired. He wants to master his craft, no matter what it takes. We also see asteroid Karma in the 10th house. This shows that Jungkook's career isn't random. He's meant to be where he is, and his work is part of a bigger spiritual story. It's not just about fame, it's about healing, teaching, and creating something lasting. And finally, Chiron, the wounded healer, sits at the top of the chart in Libra, right near the midheaven, the point of highest visibility. Chiron at 29 degrees, the last degree of a sign, is especially powerful. It shows that Jungkook has a deep emotional wound related to being seen or judged, but also an amazing gift. Through his music, his effort, and his vulnerability, he helps others heal. That's why so many people feel deeply moved by his presence, even if they don't know why. When we look at Jungkook's birth chart, it's like opening the gates to an ancient temple where the gods of music have gathered to bless one's soul with their voice, rhythm, and purpose. This is not just a chart about his professional life, it's a myth written in the stars. And every line of it says Jungkook was born to move people's hearts through music. I was curious to see what the asteroids related to music would reveal in Jungkook's chart, so I especially looked at the ones named after gods and muses from different mythologies. These aren't the planets we always hear about like Mars or Venus, but smaller celestial bodies that carry deep symbolic meaning. And what I found was incredible. In Jungkook's natal horoscope, all asteroids related to music are placed in houses connected to his career, talent, singing, and money. It felt like opening a secret musical map where each asteroid whispered the same story. This person was born to move others through voice, rhythm, and presence. Let's start with something rare and powerful, a second kite formation after the one I've already mentioned earlier. In astrology, a kite is a special and lucky shape formed by four planets or points. It often shows a deep talent and strong sense of destiny. At the very top of Jungkook's kite is Jupiter, the planet of luck, growth, and big opportunities, placed right on the edge of his second house. This house is all about money, talents, and the way we earn a living. Jupiter connects beautifully to Euterpe, the Greek muse of music and lyric poetry, at the start of his sixth house, which rules work and everyday life. It also shines a bright light on Venus, the planet of beauty, charm, and art, in his ninth house, the place of travel and wisdom. These connections say, sing as a daily devotion, sing as a job, sing across borders, and sing with love. They show not only talent, but a life mission. The fourth point in this kite is the vertex, a point in astrology that is linked to fate, sudden changes, and life-shaping meetings. His vertex is in Leo, the sign of leadership, performance, and shining like a star, and it sits in the eighth house, a deep and powerful area tied to transformation and shared bonds. This makes me think of how Jungkook decided to join BTS because he was impressed by the band's leader, Rap Monster, and how that moment changed his life. At this point, let me mention that I will also upload a video about Namjoon, so stick around if you want to watch it. Together, the three other points in this kite build a path for Jupiter to shine. Jungkook's success isn't random, it's written in the stars. Everything in this kite is working in harmony to help him answer the call of his talent and fulfill his cosmic task, to build something lasting, meaningful, and deeply connected to who he is. But the story doesn't end here. All asteroids named after music gods and muses are placed in houses that help him be the superstar that he is. In his eighth house, which rules transformation, emotional depth, and shared energy, we find Apollo, the god of music and light, in Leo. This alone would be enough to say Jungkook was meant to shine on stage. Apollo here shows that his music isn't just a job, it's his way of healing himself and others. He also has Polyhymnia, the muse of sacred songs, in the same house in Virgo. Virgo brings discipline and perfection, so even if Jungkook makes it all look effortless, he's constantly refining his voice, his movements, and even his breathing. Nearby we also find Pen, the god of wild music and dance, conjunct Juno, the asteroid of partnership. In astrology, when Pen and Juno come together, especially in the eighth house and in Leo, it speaks of emotional bonds formed through music, like singing in a group where everyone becomes one heartbeat. It says that Jungkook finds his power in teamwork, in stage presence, and in performing with others who share his passion. Melpomene, the muse of tragic songs and storytelling, sits in his ninth house in Libra. This shows that his voice carries emotion and meaning. It's not just sound, it's a story. Right at the beginning of this same house is Bragi, the Norse god of poetry, and it makes a flowing connection to Sappho, an asteroid linked to creativity and the arts, placed in his fifth house, the house of talents, joy, and performance. In his 10th house of career and public reputation, he has Terpsichore, the muse of dance, in Scorpio, working together with Nike, the goddess of victory, placed near his ascendant. This is a strong energy for success through movement. Every step Jungkook dances, every gesture he makes, carries power and meaning. With Nikkei in the mix, the message is clear. He's not just dancing, he's winning hearts one performance at a time. Even the quieter influences in his chart tell the same story. Minerva, the Roman goddess of wisdom and the arts, is also in his 8th house, close to the vertex, a point that shows fated connections and events. With Minerva here, it's like fate itself wants Jungkook to use his intelligence, skill, and insight through music and art. Asteroid Väinö, named after a Finnish demigod with magical singing voice, sits in his 7th house, the house of one-on-one connection, flowing gently to asteroid Karma in his house of his career. This indicates that he could have a career as part of a singing band. Finally, Dionysus, the god of ecstasy and performance, is in his 3rd house, the house that in Jungkook's case we've seen is connected to music. This means his voice, his words, his tone, and even the way he moves can feel hypnotic. So what does all of this mean? It means that Jungkook's path is filled with gifts, but also with deep emotions, intense discipline, and the need to constantly transform and improve. He's not just successful because he's lucky. He's successful because the very stars sang his name before he was born. The ancient Greeks would say that Jungkook has divine support. I can't say that because I don't want to be inconsiderate toward any religion or beliefs, but I can definitely say that he has cosmic support. So in the end, Jungkook's chart shows someone who's not only destined for success, but someone who will transform himself and others through his work. Money and fame come to him, yes, but only because he gives so much of himself in return. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to check the earlier ones about Jungkook's personality and also the next videos about his relationships and about the other BTS members. Until the next time, shine bright like the stars.